Hi, remember me?
Yes, and would you please keep your voice down?
Sorry. I'm Rosangela Blackwell.
Father Gabriel Ullman.
It's pretty quiet here tonight.
God's house remains open despite the weather. If anybody needs us, we are here.
Why the whispers? There isn't anybody around.
That makes no difference. The tranquility of this place must be maintained, whether anybody is here or not, especially on a night like tonight.
Do you know any Michaels?
In my line of work, I know more than I can count.
I checked with the police. This number belongs to a phone in this church. A man I'm looking for made a phone call from this number. His name is Michael. It's very important that I find him.
I'm afraid I don't know who you're talking about. I am sorry.
The telephone that uses this number, where is it?
Why would you need to know that?
Michael used the phone. Maybe he left a clue behind when he did.
And he could have used any one of a dozen offices in our administration wing.
Really? Over a dozen?
Yes. So, if you want to locate Michael Cooper, you'll have to find another way.
Wait, Cooper?
Pardon?
You said Michael Cooper.
Isn't that the gentleman you're looking for?
No, I just said his name was Michael.
So you did. A slip of the tongue. My apologies. It is quite late and I'm tired.
Well, thanks. I'll be going.
Stay safe. This is not a night to be outside.
Huh. So Michael Cooper was a priest. Interesting. Excuse me.
Yes.
Michael Cooper. He's a priest too, isn't he?
So?
So, it's a pretty big coincidence, wouldn't you say? Please stop lying to me.
I'm not lying.
You're not telling me the whole truth either, are you?
I made a promise. He came to me scared, begging me to protect him, to give him sanctuary. He was ranting. I should have turned him away, but we roomed together at the seminary. We were close friends once. What could I do?
You can take me to him.
He's raving. He's mad. He says he's in a battle for his very soul. Is this true?
Yes. Yes, it is.
He's in the school. It's closed for the winter break, so it seemed like a good a place as any to hide him. Here's a key. The entrance is around the corner. Please, do whatever you must. Just don't come back here.
Don't worry.
So, thrown out of a church. I suppose with our record it was only a matter of time.
The entrance to the school is around the block. Let's go.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down
Michael?
in green pastures.
Michael Cooper.
You! Stay back, bestower. I've got a gun.
Just a second.
I said stay back!
I need to talk to you.
Talk? Did talking help Leah or George or any of the others?
Please, I'm here to help.
Help? Oh, I wish that was true. How much help did you give George or Leah or the others?
I couldn't save them, but I want to try and save you, if I can.
Try and save me? You were supposed to be the expert. That was the whole plan.
Plan?
Yes, our brilliant plan. We get the bestower to escort our souls to the next world, protect us from this force that is after us. Instead, you let us be destroyed.
You think I wanted this to happen? People dying, souls torn apart? You think I want this?
Of course not. It's just... Well, look at what we've been reduced to.
I'm sorry. Whatever is going on, it's new. I've never seen anything like it before.
I see. And what about him?
Huh?
Your friend. The man behind you. He hasn't said a word since you walked in here.
Me? Do you mean me?
Yes, you. Don't look so surprised. How else could I have known who you were? Now get out of here. You've been nothing but trouble ever since George went to look for you.
You really don't want to do this.
I believe she is right, my host.
That voice. It can't be.
I told you to stay in the other room.
Yes, my host, I know. But I had to intervene. These two know me. If I may...
Fine. Fine. Just make it quick. I'm losing concentration.
Malone, Blackwell, what a pleasant surprise to see you both again.
Yeah, surprise is the word. What the hell are you doing here?
Is it not obvious? You freed me, Malone, brought me back into this world, and as befits all of our kind, I had a host waiting for me, and so I have returned to my former duties.
Look, as much as I am touched by this reunion, I need to focus.
Perhaps we should all converse outside.
Fine. Outside. Just leave me in peace.
Thank you, my host.
You're a bestower too?
What gave it away? The spirit guide who won't leave me alone? Look, maintaining this circle leaves me a bit cranky. Sorry. If you can help, great. If not, well, I've made my peace with it. Just go talk to her. She's outside. I need to concentrate. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul.
Blackwell, Malone, it's been a long time since we've been able to converse.
It's been almost 6 months since Joey freed you. How come we're only seeing you now?
I admit the transition hasn't been pleasant. I have had 3 hosts since returning to this world. The first was an old man on the edge of death. He lingered for 6 weeks before finally succumbing to the inevitable. When the old man passed, I became bound to his niece for a time. She ran every time she saw me. I tried to keep my distance, give her time to adjust, but in the end, she fell down the stairs in an attempt to flee. The poor woman died, and I was passed to her brother, the man inside.
Do you know what's going on? Why are these souls being attacked?
I do not know. I wish I did. Like you, we saw it happen. We saw a soul being torn apart and could do nothing. I'm afraid my host became a little unreasonable after that.
Why was George looking for me?
We needed a bestower. A proper bestower. My host and I were not up to the task.
Eh?
It might be due to my time in the void. It might be because my host's soul has been marked by whatever is out there. But in any case, our abilities are limited. We cannot even help lost souls move on as you do. We can see them and talk to them, but that is all. Hence why we needed you.
Lucky us.
So what can we do? We don't even know what's going on.
Our theory was that you could help move these poor souls into the next world before they were destroyed. But it appears that it did not achieve the desired result.
You could say that, yeah.
You must investigate. My host and I are restricted, but you two are not. If anyone can help uncover why these poor spirits are being attacked and stop it, it is you.
So how'd you like being on the outside, as it were? I imagine it's better than being trapped wherever you were.
I had hoped, that I would pass on, that being brought back to the mortal world would force me to obey mortal laws. Instead, No, it is not to be. I have returned to my former duties, therefore I must have further work to do. But yes, it is nicer than being trapped in the void. Did I ever thank you, Malone?
Not as such, no.
Well, I must rectify that. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Anytime.
You should really call me Rosangela.
Forgive me. When you are as old as I am, all the names blur together. So I tend to address those I speak to by their family name. It is just easier that way, and less painful. I'm afraid it is a habit that is difficult to break.
Do you know anything about this Grace group?
I know that it meant a great deal to my host, as well as his friends. Whatever happened at those meetings, it greatly improved their lives. But obviously, it came at a cost.
Well, I suppose we'll talk to you soon.
Of course.
Father Michael?
The Lord. Yeah?
Could you tell me about the Grace group? It was some kind of self-help group?
About 20 years ago, I was a very different person. I suppose you could call me an alcoholic, although I wouldn't have said it at the time. Then I saw an ad in the newspaper. It promised to help folks like me find their way. It seemed to be some kind of hippie self-help group, but I went to a meeting anyway. I don't remember much about the meetings, but somehow I had discovered that going to seminary school was something I had to do. It all made sense.
Made sense?
I just knew it was what I was meant to be doing, and I was right.
What happened at these meetings?
That's just it. I don't remember. Until recently, I never questioned it before. How messed up is that? I'd go, I'd sit down, and leave. I'd meet with the other members for coffee afterward. What on earth did we talk about? We must have found something. But I do remember a man, Benjiro. He ran the meetings.
Benjiro?
Yeah, Japanese guy. I don't remember anything else about him.
How many people went to these meetings?
There were 6 of us. You already know about Leah and George and myself. The others are dead.
Who were they?
Does it matter? They are dead. Their souls were taken.
Even still, tell me.
Jeffrey Dutta, Heather Goffstein, Peter Fielding.
What is this circle?
Oh, this. Madeline taught me how to do it. It prevents anything spiritual from getting to me. It takes some concentration to maintain, so I'm sorry if I seem a bit inhospitable.
How did you learn what was happening?
You mean that our souls were being taken?
Yeah.
It was a few weeks ago. I was at the bedside of a friend. Jeffrey, his name was. He went to the Grace Group meetings back in the day. Like me. He had been in a car accident. Hit and run. He was dying, and he wanted me there. And when he died, I saw it. His spirit being torn apart. He screamed. I'll never forget that scream.
I know. I saw it too.
Anyway, with Madeline's help, I began looking into other members of the group and learned it was happening to all of us. You know the rest.
So you're working with Madeline?
Working? I guess you could call it that. I've been too busy being scared to give it any serious thought.
So why'd you send Madeline outside?
Her presence disturbs my concentration, so she's keeping as far away as she can until this is resolved.
What about us?
You're the ones who are going to save my hide. For you, I'll make the extra effort to focus.
All right, Michael. We're going to go.
Of course. Godspeed to the both of you. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the...
So Peter Fielding owned a gym in Murray Hill. Worth a visit, I suppose. Looks nice and warm in there. Of course, so would an ice factory right now.
Nobody here.
Hey, does it look right? Seriously, does it look right?
Does what look right?
The light bulb. I could swear it was blinking.
It looks fine to me.
Huh. Gotta do everything myself around here.
Hey, friend, can we talk for a second?
Are you sure there's nothing wrong with that light?
I'm no expert, but it looks fine to me.
Well, what can I do for you?
Hey, is your name Peter Fielding by any chance?
That's me. Why?
No reason. You own this joint, right?
Yes, I do. My dad built it. You could say it's a family business. Been running it around 20 years? Seems like yesterday.
So what's the story with the lights?
I don't know. It's driving me crazy. There's something wrong with them. I can tell.
Well, like I said, they look totally fine to me.
I'll just have to keep checking.
So, how are you feeling?
Fine. Why?
You don't feel strange at all?
What do you mean?
Well, just hypothetically speaking, you don't feel like you're gonna explode?
What, like indigestion?
Not quite.
I am on a strict diet of wheatgrass shakes and fiber. Indigestion is the last thing I have to worry about.
Nice place you got here.
Thanks. You looking to join?
Ah, no, I really don't think exercise is gonna do me much good.
It's amazing how many people think that. You're young. Your metabolism is still going strong. But time catches up with you before you know it.
You're preaching to the choir, Peter, but I'm still not interested.
Well, we're here if you need us.
So, you run this place with your old man, huh?
Sort of. He built it when he left the army. I took over long ago.
So, you run...
Sort of.
Hey, I think I met a friend of yours, Father Michael Cooper.
Michael? Now there's a name I haven't heard in a while. How is he?
He's seen better days.
I'm sorry to hear that. He'll pull through. He always has.
Do you know Heather Goffstein?
You know Heather too. Who don't you know?
Well, I'm a people person.
Wow, Heather. Haven't heard that name in a long time.
Did you know Jeffrey Dutta?
You know Jeff too?
Not really, I just heard of him.
Good guy. Took care of my neighbor's dog when she was on vacation.
Well, I'll see you around.
You got it. I'll be here. I just gotta see what's wrong with this damn light.
So I found Peter.
Peter? Peter Fielding?
Yeah, he's safe and sound. Spiritually speaking, anyway.
Huh. Michael was sure that Peter's ghost was taken.
Just between you and me, Michael doesn't look to be sure about very much.
Familiar faces. It is a relief to see you both.
We found one of the Grace Group spooks, Peter Fielding.
I see. Is he still intact?
Yeah, he tried to get me to join a gym.
I thought as much.
You thought so? What do you mean?
You know as well as I do. A spirit cannot be moved from this world until it is spiritually ready. It would appear that is also the case here.
But what about George and Leah?
From my understanding, they were aware of their death when they were taken.
Yeah, they were.
Then there is your answer. They were spiritually ready to leave this world, and so were vulnerable. This Fielding, was it? He is a lucky soul indeed. Until he is made aware, he cannot be taken. Not by you, nor by anyone else.
So what? We just leave the spook to rot?
Of course not. It has been known for some spirits to become aware on their own. The right face, the right moment, anything can trigger it. And if that happens to Fielding, no. Our duty is to save him, and save him we shall.
How? The usual rules have been chucked out the window. We make a move and he gets hammered, and we're not going to let that happen, not again.
It is a dilemma for certain.
You've been around the block a few times, so to speak. Nothing like this has ever happened to you before?
The destruction of the very essence of life? No. Such a thing is difficult to contemplate, and to witness it, even more so.
So wait, this is our fault?
Whatever do you mean?
Leah, George. Just by trying to save them, we destroyed them.
I suppose. Yes, it could be seen that way, but please do not blame yourself. How could you have known?
Ignorance doesn't change anything.
Listen to me. Whatever or whoever is taking these souls, they were marked long before they died. All we can do now is move forward and save who we can.
We need to think about this, plan our next move.
Of course. In fact, I might have an idea along those lines. I must confer with my host. Please excuse me.
He's okay? Peter's really okay?
He is still deceased, but in all other respects, yes. He is as well as can be.
This changes everything. You have no idea. You two, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I never even considered that Peter's soul could be saved. And maybe Heather, too. Yes, Heather. If she wasn't taken, then her soul must still be lost.
And this is a good thing?
Of course. If a soul is merely lost, it still can be saved. And maybe so can mine.
So, what's your plan?
We are approaching this from ignorance, and possibly from fear. Before I was trapped in the void, I was a spirit guide for a very long time. I can learn much from a spirit by looking at it and talking to it. If Fielding's soul still exists, then it must be brought here.
And Heather. Heather's soul must still be out there.
And her as well, of course.
Peter Fielding's spook is at the gym. It's not too far away. You can talk to him there.
Are you kidding? I step out of this circle, who knows what could happen? If I die, there's a good chance I'll be an aware spirit, just like Leah and George, and then...
Be at peace, my host. I would not ask you to do such a thing.
Well, thank heaven for that.
Besides, it is unnecessary. As you say, only spiritually aware souls are attacked. Since this Fielding is not spiritually aware, meeting him in his current state would be fruitless. We need to awaken him before I can determine anything about him.
Won't awakening these ghosts destroy him? Aren't we trying to avoid that?
Don't be absurd. We'll put them behind this circle. They will be safe there.
And how are we supposed to do that? Spooks like me can't enter the thing.
This might surprise you, Malone, but I did think of that. Come here. Take this.
What's this thing?
Call it a totem. It was made with some of my essence. The circle was created in much the same manner, so it will make a perfect focus. When you awaken a spirit, use the totem to send them directly here. They will remain safely behind the circle until we can determine the next course of action.
So I'll be trapped in this circle with Peter and Heather's ghosts?
I am afraid so, my host.
Well, I suppose it can't be helped. And I guess it will be nice to see them again.
Yes.
I need to know everything you can tell me about Heather.
Well, there was one thing. It was a confession of sorts, you see, and she trusted me.
What was it?
You don't understand. It was a confession. It might have been a long time ago, but it was still a sacred trust. I can't betray that trust. It goes against everything I believe in.
Don't you think that under the circumstances, she would understand?
I'm not sure God would.
Does it really matter? What's the worst that could happen? You lose your soul?
My God, when you put it like that. Heather was a prostitute. She wanted to confess, but didn't feel right entering a church. She might have been Jewish, judging by her name, but I think she just wanted to speak to someone who understood.
Understood?
Someone who had been to grace group meetings. Someone who had had a life-changing revelation, like I did. I don't know what her revelation was, but she wanted to purge herself of her old life. So she asked if I could come to her apartment and listen to her. So I did.
Do you remember where she lived?
I was a priest entering the house of a prostitute. It's not something you forget. She lived by Tompkins Square Park. Here's the address.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Peter? Anything that can help us?
No. Of all the people in our group, Peter was the one I spoke to the least. I think George once belonged to his gym, even took personal training sessions for a while. But George wasn't really the personal fitness type.
I guess we should get going.
Then I do believe our talk is concluded. I will return outside.
Hey, Madeline?
Yes, my host.
It's all right.
All right.
Yeah, stay inside. It's cold out there.
I don't feel the cold, my host.
I know. Just stay, please. And thanks.
It is my pleasure, my host.